Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to be joined with Sophia with her movie, Leg Day. Let's take a look at the clip.
Hey, stay by the shore, everybody. People have drowned here.
Sophia, firstly, welcome to the NFMLA family.
Thank you.
We'll never let you go, that's it now.
Perfect, perfect.
Thank you so much for bringing your wonderful film, Leg Day. It was so special to see it on the big screen as well. For those that haven't seen your film, tell us about the story.
Yeah, so Lake Day is about Hazel, an autistic teenage girl who is fighting to make friends and fit in on her summer camp's field trip to a lake.
And I'm obsessed with these characters and these wonderful actors that you created. But for those that kind of go deeper into the film, where did this inspiration for this film and how that kind of articulate into making the project?
Yeah, so like the protagonist Hazel, I am autistic, but unlike her, I was not diagnosed until I was 20. And so for me, it was really important to tell a story that represented my experience and could reach other young autistic girls who maybe haven't seen themselves represented in media in the past. You know, some of us are like Sheldon Cooper, and that's great, and some of us are our own selves, and you know, it's such a spectrum. And so for me, the impetus to make this really came from wanting that representation and also ultimately wanting to tell a story for my younger self about making friends and connecting with other people, because I think that was one of my biggest challenges growing up, was understanding all of these social codes and rituals and finding my way through those. And so ultimately, yeah, not everyone watching this is gonna be neurodivergent, but we have all really wanted to belong and to connect. And that's really at the heart of this.
Oh, it's so beautiful, Sophia. Like, I really felt you shared a lot there that was super important, both as a filmmaker, but just also on morality and understanding education and everything involved in that, which you certainly did it. And well done. And thank you for sharing something so personal and then making it this, you know, universal story, whether you experienced it or whether, you know, you're learning about it yourself. Firstly, let's talk about this location, because this location was really special.
Yes, it was.
And it's beautiful and special.
Yeah. So we filmed it in upstate New York, and it was at a summer camp called Ramapo for Children. And actually, their summer camp is specifically designed for children with disabilities, and specifically like developmental, intellectual disabilities. And so it was so wonderful to get to film there and work with their amazing team. And then also it was just like so beautiful and just like magical, and all of the crew, we like stayed in cabins there while we were filming.
How great.
Yeah, so it was a really special experience. Yeah, for sure.
And you had like some amazing young future actors of the world, like it involved. I mean, firstly, how did you go about bringing your cast together? Like, how was that experience? I mean, Hazel, obviously Lee was so good. Like, how did you go about bringing this wonderful cast together?
Yeah, so for most of the like neurotypical girls, the like cool girls, that was kind of like just a standard casting process, like actors access, all of that. And there were so many wonderful options, and each and every one of them was just like incredible. But it was a little bit more challenging to cast the roles of Hazel and Jenny, because for me, it was really important to cast actresses who actually are autistic in real life. And also are around the age of like 12 to 15 and live in New York and are acting as well. And so the character of Jenny, who's the kind of one of the autistic girls, I found her through a Facebook group of moms of autistic children in Connecticut, and I like made a post, and her mom was the only one who like responded to the post, and I like Zoomed with them, and she was the only candidate for that role. And just the same way, the actress who plays Hazel, Octavia, was also the only candidate for her role. So I got really lucky.
Amazing.
And Octavia I found through a friend of my mom's daughter. And she sort of got passed on through word of mouth, and we spoke, and it was just like an immediate click.
Amazing. So it was all kind of interconnected. But I love that you found it through this very specific Facebook group in Connecticut. I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah. So it all like magically came together.
Yeah.
I really have no idea how, but yeah, I got really lucky.
It's the way it was supposed to be, right? For sure.
Exactly.
And for you as a director, firstly, it must be like really lovely to be able to firstly cast someone in the role that can really reflect the character's experience, right? But also for you as well, like, you said, you mentioned it was later on in your life that you discovered, about, your own experience, but then being able to work with someone like your younger self, and then from a director-actor perspective, how was that experience?
Oh, it was the best. I was definitely, I definitely really felt very connected to that actress, and yeah, she really just like, to me, was that character.
She's amazing.
Like
actor.
she was so incredible, and like I just felt like so protective over her, and I was so excited that this got to be like her first experience on set, and like this was my first like bigger short film, and we kind of got to share in that together. And I mean, she was such a trooper. Like, she really did like all sorts of challenging things over this weekend, and overcame so much, and just like really was the key that made the whole film work. Yeah.
And working with younger actors, right? Obviously, I'm sure they looked up to you like a big sister. What was the experience working with other young girls and this particular set, and how is that kind of director relationship with everyone? They're also at the age group where they're going through so many changes in themselves, and there's the aspect of bullying and teasing, and actually there's probably a teaching lesson within the context of the story as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the good news is that I had a good amount of experience working with younger actors, because I used to like run a bunch of like kids theater camps.
Oh, okay.
I was
so
like,
you knew
I'm back in my zone.
Oh, that's so
I'm
cool.
ready to go.
Yeah.
So that part was great. And yeah, I mean, it was really funny the first day of filming. Like, I don't think that these girls had ever met each other, and like pretty quickly they were chatting like they were best friends. Like, they all just were all so comfortable with each other. Maybe it was something about the fact that they all had to like get into like slimy lake water together, and they were like bonded through this crazy experience.
I love it.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think honestly, working with actors is probably like my favorite part of directing. Like, that connection is so special. And yeah, honestly, they were pros. They were total pros.
Oh, they feel like they you can tell they're very good, very, very good at what they do.
Yeah.
And for so young, it's always incredible to know they've got a lovely career ahead as well. Obviously there are challenges when you're making things outside and exterior, like production-wise, what was some of the challenges or things that you overcame or faced in this production?
Yeah, I mean, just from a logistical standpoint, working with minors, like there's a lot that you have to go through with that. There's a lot of paperwork, a lot of things like that, just to make sure you're in the clear. And also like having more limited hours of shooting, right? So like we really had to be efficient, and we did it in 3 days. So like we were like straight down to business with everything. And then also just, I think with any project, things come up that, you can never plan. So like an example, on our second day of shooting, we were meant to start out the day. All of these extras were coming, like 15, 20 extras, like the most that we were gonna have. They're all arriving, and we're supposed to start filming this school bus. And the school bus did not come. And it kept not coming. Yeah, the school bus just didn't show up. And so within less than an hour, we had to like flip our schedule for the rest of the weekend. We shot everything else that day. And then sort of, again, just total luck. A mom of one of the extras happened to know a guy who had a bus a couple hours away.
Oh my goodness.
And so then he drove in the next day, and we managed to make it work. But yeah, just things like that. I think it really shows just like how adaptable you have to be, and when things go wrong, it's I think in the position of like directing, producing, whatever, you have to really like keep your calm and just be like, okay, we're gonna make it work, and just kind of you can be stressed about it later. You can
Yeah.
pull your hair out later, but
Yeah.
in the moment, you just kind of have to like focus, center yourself, and figure it out. So yeah.
That is good. That is very good advice, Sophia. Actually, and I mean that was quite a big obstacle as well. So
Yeah.
well done for like coming
Thank you.
through that. But I think you're absolutely right. I think it's part of the parcel of just thinking, okay, how do you overcome these moments? How can you adapt to these situations? And well done for doing that, because it's never easy, especially when there's like a limited time working with your minor actors as well. I really loved your film because I think it goes back to what you said about earlier about representation, about having people that represent, certain subjects or characters. And, I think what was really important about the character in Hazel, the film, is that, it was part of her experience, but it wasn't like maybe labeled in a way of what we've seen in previous films where it was, kind of doesn't feel right. Okay, I'm sure you've seen a lot of films like that where you're like, this doesn't feel right. You did a great job. Really, really great. And I'm glad that you made it, and I'm glad you found the lead actor to take the role on as well. What did you want your audience to experience from your film or take from your film?
I think that I really just wanted people watching it to feel less alone. Like that's kind of why I make things, is to let people know that like, hey, I also don't have all the answers to, all these different challenges that we're all facing, but, there are other people who are going through this too, and we'll figure something out together,
I love it.
Yeah, and so I think that's the big thing, is I just want people to feel seen, and to kind of have a little moment of like revisiting that inner child and kind of being a little bit gentle with them,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you bring such a warmth to you as a person and what you brought to the film and how you've gone about the film. So that's credit to you as a filmmaker and as a person as well. And so bring me to say, what is next? Where are we going next? Where are you taking us next?
Yeah, well, so this is actually a proof of concept for a feature film.
Amazing.
So Hazel's story lives on. And yeah, the feature, she's actually going to a horseback riding camp. And so she's doing all the same things of fighting to make friends and fit in and going on this journey of self-acceptance, and she gets assigned this horse who is really like anxious and sensitive, and throughout the film her relationship to this horse kind of mirrors her own relationship to herself and accepting her autism. And so it's called Like You, and that is currently development, so that's exciting.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. So you decided to work with children and animals. Like, you're very brave.
Yeah. Well, I think the feature came first before the short.
Got you.
And so I think I didn't realize. Now I'm like, oh wow, like
you can do it.
Buckle down. It's time to buckle down.
You can do it. No, of all people, you can do it, Sophia. Yeah. I'm excited to watch this feature as well.
Yeah, totally.
And just kind of like learning from the experience that you just had. For any filmmaker out there, what's important to you as a storyteller, as an artist, as a filmmaker that maybe you can just share with your audience? What can be helpful to them?
I mean, the first thing is like, just do it. Like, just find something to make and just try it, because really, like, you can learn, I guess, in theory, but the best learning comes from experience. And so I think just giving yourself that experience, and being like gentle with yourself, and understanding that it is a process of growth. And yes, it's about creating an amazing film, but it's also about what you learn from that and bring to the next film and the next film. And it all becomes part of this bigger picture. And so I think just start your journey. Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing that. Thank you for bringing Lake Day with us. We're very excited for the feature. And hopefully you'll bring it back to us as well. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Sophia, everybody.